G'day folks, and welcome to this introduction to the next scenario in my GOSS adventure. An egg is laid, 7th and the 106th, scenario 2. I have set up, first of all, I'm going to be playing this scenario on Vassel. And I have set this all up, and I have uploaded this save file to the GOSS files section on Facebook. This is the Grand Operational Simulation Series community Facebook group. It's on Vassel because this is taking me hours to do, and so I figured I'd save it, upload it, so that anybody else who wants to play through this scenario can download that Vassel file. So yes, I'm moving to Vassel for various reasons. My last game, which I kind of finished abruptly, several things happened. I made some strategic errors in not releasing all formation early enough, which kind of hindered my advance, which kind of threw everything off. And then I bumped some counters on the edge, but it was kind of like frustrating to put them back, and so I packed it all up. Now, because it is really fiddly, because the map terrain features are critical in GOSS, I think Vassel just makes gameplay so much easier. I much prefer to play on a paper map with the physical counters, but look, I just think GOSS is going to be much easier to manage counter density and stacking and information. I mean, look at this. I can so quickly and easily flick through these stacks and see what appears. You know, the idea that you can hover over these units and see what's in a stack, particularly when it comes to artillery, I was missing a lot of artillery. You often have to search through stacks to find the artillery, and so much easier if you're using Vassel. Also, because I made that strategic error, I tried to undo a turn, and I was kind of rewinding and putting counters back where they should have been, and it's very hard to do that. Vassel, again, makes it easier. I can save the game, reload. You can also track units that have moved. So as you know, in Vassel, when you move a unit, it says moved, and you can just clear that to reset everything. So yes, I am going to move to Vassel for the playthrough of this scenario. So I'm all set up, and I want to show you sort of the parameters of this scenario and what my plans are for the German offensive. So I will bring up this is a scenario here that depicts the 67th Corps attack on the 106th Infantry Division. So you can see the 106 in this area here. This is the Rhein. It depicts their attack, and the 63rd Panzer Corps' attempt to dash to the Ourthe River. The failure to take Saint-Vith would result in the fortified goose egg. Okay, so the historical background. Monteufel planned to use the 62nd, and I'll point these out as I go along. So he planned to use the 62nd, they are down here, and the 18th, they are up here, to ensnare and destroy the 106th here, which had two regiments exposed on the Schnee-Eifel Ridge, occupying captured West Wall bunkers. The 106th was newly arrived and had barely a week to acclimatise to the rigours of frontline duty before the German offensive fell on them. The previous occupant, 2nd Infantry Division, was a veteran division that had prepared positions for a unit stocked with more equipment than the straight T, O and E would call for. The German offensive had fully engulfed the two regiments by the middle of the second day, and Saint-Vith itself was threatened. Only the timely arrival of the US 7th Armoured Division, along with the stout defence put up by the 81st, 158th Engineer Battalions and elements of the 28th Infantry Division and 9th Armoured Division, made it possible for the Americans to hold Saint-Vith until December 23rd, when it was finally about to be swallowed up by the 2nd SS Panzer Corps and the Führer Brigade. The 116th Panzer Division, down here in the south, meanwhile, lost too much time fighting for a bridge at Rhein, here, that would not support the weight of a Panther Mark V tank. The division was forced to detour all the way around to Duisburg, and the 2nd Panzer Division's bridgehead over the Ourthe River. Eventually the division, along with the 560th Panzer Grenadier Division, would make it out. It would make it out to the Soy-Hotten area where it battled the newly arriving 3rd Armoured and 82nd Airborne Divisions. Okay, so I've just pointed out the divisions, the German divisions. We've got the American 28th Infantry Division here facing the 116th. There is some flexibility in the setup, not a great deal, mainly in the placement of, what have I placed here? Let me try to remember. Actually, the 62nd Division mainly gets some flexibility up here, so they get to place their company assets. I've tried to place them around this area. We place the Fusiliers here. That's a variable setup option. I'm going to try and drive straight along that main road and clear that main highway towards Steinbrook. Try and clear this area through here towards Simfi in the north. 116th, I really don't know yet. They're driving north. I will point out as well the boundary, scenario boundary is this dotted line running outside the edge here. So you can see this dotted line here. They need to stay north of that line. There is, I will highlight, I'll start in the very south and I'll highlight a crossing here at Uren, and then a crossing here, and then the crossing here at Steinebrook. And then there are more crossings to the north, one here at Rodgen, Schonberg bridges, Andela, and that's the clear area to the north of the Schnee Eifel. So 116th, I think driving north and seeing where they have success against the 28th Division and maybe concentrating forces through any gap that they can make through here. 28th is going to be tough. They are in ET2s along this area. Again, I'm putting these on the bottom just because I'm playing solitaire. Makes it easier to keep track of things. Easy to spot those, but yeah, better to have the information on top, I think. So the scenario starts with the pre-dawn surprise game turn of the December 16th turn. Turn tracks are up here. So we have the pre-dawn surprise turn with their rules. It concludes with the completion of the 20th of December PM turn? Yeah, PM turn. So here, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, pretty much 5 full days in effect. We're using the historical weather. Neither side receives any air points. So that's nice. We don't have to worry about that. And there are a couple of special rules, which I will not go through right now. I'll be doing some live plays of this, but I'm not going to try to live play everything. Because it's often hard to get the circumstances right to have the time to live play. So I'm going to try and live play some moments, but just keep playing and do some recaps of what's been happening. So again, to cover the boundary, yes, it starts down here, stretches out directly west to around this area, and then northwest. So forces the 116th to drive to the north and try and cross the Ur River here in this area basically. You'll notice these little hit points. These are the objectives. So here's the northern boundary along here, and it stretches out to the 15XX row down here. Okay, so you can see the setups here. They're going to try and cross the Ur River and then drive. Seville would be great to capture. That is a German objective. The other 3 objectives are out here. They win an automatic victory if they can exit 4 units of a single Kampf group off the west edge of the map. There are 3 hexes in particular. I think it must be 1, 2, maybe La Roche. That might be the 3rd one. It is right in front of me. I should look at it. Victory conditions. No, yes, 1503. It is La Roche. So they automatic victories, they can do that. Otherwise, they are looking to secure Why are there 4 of them? There shouldn't be 4. There should be 3. 1933, which is that one. 2128, that one. And 2431, that one. This must be 2629. That shouldn't exist at all. I don't know why it's there. Okay. 2628 rather. 2628 is not an objective. No, I don't know what it's there. And then the Americans have their own. They have got Salm Chateau, the bridge across the Salm River, which is where they pull back their defences to. They've got Gruflingen here on the main road towards St. Vier. This, of course, winds down towards Bastogne. You can see here. That's off the map, but that's just why this is an important point. And then they have Vilsam here, so they have 2 points close together, and St. Vith is their 4th one. So both sides share this as an objective. And if the Germans do not achieve their automatic victory, sudden death victory conditions, it is whoever controls the most of their other victory point objectives. You add them up, whoever has the most wins. Okay, so there was some flexibility in artillery positioning as well. And this is always hard because when you follow the setup instructions, you place artillery first, and then you place the rest of your formations. And you often have to go back to the artillery to move them out of the way and adjust them. So the Nebelwerfers in particular are critical. You'll see where I've placed the 4 formations here. They have range 4 and range 3. So these 2 here can hit this position, and these guys here can hit pretty much anyone in this area. Yeah, they're designed to focus on this northern sector here, or the northern 2 formations of the 112th. Lots of artillery behind the line, headquarters here. Okay, we've got Kruger as a leader over here, the only leader in this scenario. I don't know much about him, haven't read that yet. 62nd, again, driving north. So I placed my division assets, the Hetzer and the AT in the north, to try and take on this. I know I said this main road is important, but yes, another consideration here for the 62nd is cutting off the 106. So that means driving north and linking up around about Schomberg with the 18th coming from the north. Okay, so they're going to swing around, avoid the Schnee Eifel, use this open terrain, drive through Roth, cross the River, and yes, they have a lot of. These Nebelwerfers here had a lot of flexibility. They were allowed to set up within eight hexes of, I think, the core HQ down here, or something like that. So I've placed them way up in the north. They have a range of 3 and a range of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they do have capacity to hit that recon unit there in an ET2 and support the 18th, and then quickly move along. I think I'll be allowed to move them along. Haven't checked to see if I'm not allowed to do that yet. So I am using the GOSS 2020 system rules and the 2020 Wacht and Rhein exclusive rules. This means that we have both scenario-specific rules plus the 16th of December start specific rules plus other title-specific rules to consider as we get this done. I'm a bit rusty because it's been a few weeks. I literally sat staring at the last scenario for about a week and a half before I finally decided to pack it in with the mistakes that I'd made and the bump counters and everything else that was going on. So yeah, it's been some time since I've played Wacht am Rhein. But I am optimistic that Vassel will make it easier to track and play and follow and read and understand. Another huge benefit is having the digital rules here next to me. Already, even during setup, just the ability to quickly search for things, search for division and then, pop through there and know where things are and quickly find references, for example, to construction engineers was one thing I wasn't sure about. And what else? Oh yeah, where divisional assets can set up. And the range for example, the Fusiliers, how close they need to be. The answer to that was adjacent to units of the division. So, just to recap, in the north, and we do have elements of the 3rd Fallschirmjäger. I don't know, because this is a scenario boundary, I'm unclear what I do with these. They're outside the boundary. This, incidentally, is where the last scenario was played. Up here, this is the Lossheim Gap. This is Lossheimer Graben. We've got Bullingen up here. That's just where all the fighting was last turn. Last scenario. So this scenario includes the sort of southernmost elements of that scenario, but I don't know if I'm allowed to move them. Am I allowed to do anything with the 3rd Fallschirmjäger, or is it just kind of like for context there? What else? So yes, driving the 18th through this open area. All right, so we've got an M5 light tank company here in an improved position. Right, do I try and secure this river here, or try and get it on the north side of the Ur River early? Or do I drive through this artillery and link up around Schomberg? Do I aim for Schomberg-Arndler? I think historically they were aiming for the Arndler Bridge here. But yeah, Schomberg would be great, giving me that main road across the Ur. That might be... No, let's see what happens. Let's aim for this area here. We'll ignore the northern flank of the Ur. We'll aim for Schomberg-Arndler, and the 82nd will... They want to do two things. Kind of torn. So I've got elements in the 106 here. They want to drive up north, surround the 106th, capture Schomberg Bridge, but also clear out these formations as well. I think we'll try to do all three. Clear out this. This is just a reconnaissance and an infantry company. Here we have AT and the 3rd 424th of the 106th. They are in ET2, so that could be a tough one to break. It may even be worth swinging around the north. So really focusing on the northern drive and then coming around the top here. 116th, as I said, throw everything at the wall and see what breaks. As for the Americans, see what they can rescue, I guess. It's again, they're on the defensive, they're reacting, they don't have a lot of options here. They'll try to hold out for as long as possible and hope that they can get their reinforcements into the line quickly. I think I've captured most of kind of what I'm thinking at this stage. As I said, I'll do some playthroughs and capture some more detail. I just love looking at these Wacht and Rhein maps. I think these are becoming my favourite maps in gaming. I love the art style. I do not like constricted terrain. So when I see this on the map, I get a bit worried about implementing it correctly. Where did I see it in particular? Down here with the 116th. This area around here is concerning me. This area here near Heinescheid in particular, you can see this secondary road running across the Ur River through two constricted terrain hexes between forests. It's just a horrible little, yeah, I grabbed it again by accident, a horrible little terrain feature to somehow have to navigate and wrap my head around. So there's two elements of the... Oh, this is the 560th Volksgrenadier. I didn't mention them at all. This is not just the 116th, this is the 560th. So they may focus on getting across the bridge here and driving up the west flank of the Ur River. They have to contend with, yeah, this formation of the 28th Infantry Division. So incidentally, this is the... It's going to be interesting to compare this with my playthrough of A Time for Trumpets, because this was one of the areas that I played through several times. I think I played through a couple of scenarios. It was Time for Trumpets, just searching my videos. I also moved to Vassel for this as well. So this was, yeah, just looking for it. Here we are. This is the scenario I'm thinking. So we've got 5th Panzer Army scenario. Where are we? Hosingen. There's Veldt. That's more further to the south. Okay. This is a situation near Clervaux. I just want to see what's up further to the north, around the 116th Division. From Heinescheid, here we are. So here we have, this is I think the 116th Division. This should be the same area as Heinescheid. But far more detail here. Heinescheid, this is Ur River up here, there's Berg Roland. Yes, some more, Winterspell, okay, so there's the main road, Winterscheid, Winterspell, 116th driving up through there, there's Grufflingen, okay. So yeah, I think I might do a comparison once I've run it, and just says, where are they? Where are they? I've lost track of them all. Anyway, they're in that area somewhere. There's Bergerland. There's Winterspelt. There's Winterscheid. Okay. Heinescheid, Bergerland. So these maps are, yeah, a little more detailed. Anyway, I'll do a comparison at another stage once I've complete. But folks, for now, that is, yeah, that's the introduction to this scenario. Thank you all for watching, and take care.